Jai Swaminarayan, dear student. In the previous video, we were discussed the textbook solve numericals 1 to 8 of the chapter number 2 units and the measurement. Dear student, in this video, we will discuss the solve numericals from 9 to 17, right, of the chapter number 2 units in the measurement. So dear student, if you were not seen the previous video till, first see the previous video and then see this video, right, for the other numericals. So in this video, dear student, we discuss the solved numericals of the chapter number 2 from 9 to 17. So let us start with the example number 2.9. Solved example 2.9 of the textbook. The resistance R is given by the formula V by I. You know, dear student, according to the Ohm's law, the resistance of the conductor R is equal to V divided by I, where V is a potential difference given to you 100 plus minus 5 volt and I is equal to 10 plus minus 0.2 ampere. So here the potential difference V is equal to 100 plus minus 5 volt. 100 is the true value of the potential and 5 is the average absolute error in the potential. Similarly, electric current I is equal to 10 plus minus 0.2 ampere. So the true value of the electric current I is equal to 10 ampere and 0.2 is the absolute error in the electric current. Find the percentage error in the R. So dear student, we know that the resistance R is equal to V divided by R. So in the division, the percentage error in the final result is the addition of the sum of the percentage error in the individual measurement. So in this, R is equal to V divided by I, right? The percentage error in the R, delta R by R multiplied by 100 is equal to the sum of the percentage error in V and the percentage error in I. So we write like percentage error in V, delta V by V multiplied by 100 plus delta I by I multiplied by 100. So dear student, the percentage error in R, delta R by R multiplied by 100 is equal to delta V by V. What is the value of the delta V? The value of the delta V is a 5 and the value of the V, that is the true value, is 100. Similarly, value of delta I is at 0.2 and I is 100. So if we take this value, we get the percentage error in R, delta R by R multiplied by 100 is equal to 5 by 100. Value of delta V is a 5 and V is 100. So 5 by 100 plus value of delta I is a 0.2 and value of I is a 10. So 0.2 divided by 10 into 100. So 0.05 plus 0.02 into 100, we get the answer 0.07 into 100. So the percentage error in the resistance R is a 7%. Understand this example, how you calculate the percentage error? Similar example is given for you. Mass is given to you, volume is given to you, and calculate the percentage error in the density. So you can easily calculate the percentage error. Remember the rules, right? The percentage error in a multiplication or a division is a sum of the percentage error in the individual measurement, right? Understand this example? Now example number 2.10, right? Textbook solve example number 2.10. Two resistors of the resistance R1 is equal to 100 plus minus 3 ohm. So value of R1 is equal to 100 plus minus 3 ohm. The absolute error in the R1 is a 3 ohm and the true value of the R1 is a 100. And R2 is equal to 200 plus minus 4 ohm are connected in series and in a parallel. Find the equivalent resistance of the series combination and the parallel combination. used for the series combination R is equal to R1 plus R2, and for the parallel combination 1 by R dash is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, and the error in a parallel combination delta R dash divided by R dash square is equal to delta R1 by R1 square plus delta R2 by R2 square. So in a parallel combination we use this equation for the finding out the absolute error, right? So first we find the equivalent resistance in a series combination with the consideration of the absolute error, right? So how the equivalent resistance in a series connection we find? Here the two resistors are connected in a series combination. The equivalent resistance is the sum of the individual resistance. So in the series connection, the equivalent resistance Rs is equal to R1 plus R2. So first we take the true value of the both the resistance, right? True value of R1 is 100 and true value of the R2 is 200. So the true value of the equivalent resistance Rs is equal to 100 plus 200, we get the 300. But absolute error is always additive, right? So the absolute error in a equivalent resistance in a series combination is delta Rs is equal to delta R1 plus delta R2. So here the delta R1 is given to you 3 and delta R2 is given to you 4. So the average absolute error in a series combination is 3 plus 4, we get the 7 ohm. So the equivalent resistance in the series combination Rs is equal to Rs plus or minus delta Rs. Rs is the true value of the equivalent resistance and delta Rs is the average absolute error in the equivalent resistance. So 300 plus minus 7 ohm. So if you want to calculate the percentage error in the equivalent resistance, so how you calculate the percentage error in the equivalent resistance in a series combination? It is a 7 delta Rs divided by Rs multiplied by 100. So we calculate the percentage error 7 divided by 300 into 100, right? So dear student, understand about the equivalent resistor, how we can find the equivalent resistor in a series combination. Now equivalent resistance in a parallel combination. So for the parallel combination the equation is given to you. In a parallel combination equivalent resistance is 1 by R dash is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, and the error in the equivalent resistance delta R dash divided by R dash square is equal to delta R1 by R1 square plus delta R2 by R2 square. So we use this equation for the parallel combination. So absolute error in the parallel combination, right? So how we can calculate the absolute error in the parallel combination? So first we find the true value of the equivalent resistance in the parallel combination. So equivalent resistance in a parallel combination Rp is equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, right? So value of R1 is 100 multiplied by value of R2 is 200 divided by 100 plus 200. We get the equivalent resistance 66.7 ohm, right? So true value of the equivalent resistance in a parallel combination is a 66.7 ohm. Now how we find the absolute error in the equivalent resistance? So for that the equation is given to you. Delta R divided by R square is equal to delta R1 by R1 square plus delta R2 by R2 square. So we use this equation to calculate the absolute error in a parallel combination. So absolute error in a parallel combination is delta Rp divided by Rp square is equal to delta R1 by R1 square plus delta R2 by R2 square. We take this Rp square in other side, right? Delta Rp is equal to Rp square multiplied by delta R1 by R1 square plus Rp square multiplied by delta R2 by R2 square. So value of Rp, true value is a 66.7 ohm. So 66.7 square multiplied by delta R1, that means the absolute error in R1. So the absolute error in R1 is a 3 divided by R1 square. So true value of R1 is 100 square plus RP square 66.7 square multiply by absolute error in R2 is 4 divided by 200 square. So if you calculate this, we get the answer delta RP is equal to 1.8 ohm. So the absolute error in a equivalent resistance in a parallel combination is 1.8 ohm. So how we write the equivalent resistance in a parallel combination? Rp dash is equal to Rp plus minus delta Rp. Here Rp is the true value and delta Rp is the average absolute error in a parallel combination. So true value we get as 66.7 ohm and average absolute error we get the 1.8 ohm. So Rp dash equivalent resistance in the parallel combination is 66.7 ohm plus minus 1.8 ohm, right? So understand this example number 2.10, right? We find the equivalent resistance in the series combination as well as the equivalent resistance in a parallel combination. Absolute error in the series combination as well as the absolute error in a parallel combination. Now, example number 2.11, right? Find the relative error in Z if Z is equal to A raised to 4, B raised to 1 by 3 divided by C D raised to 3 by 2. So here we use to calculate the relative error, we use the errors in a multiplication and the division. We use the rules for the combination of the error. When the two physical quantities are multiplied or divided, the relative error in the final result is the sum of the individual relative error. And another rules, we use the errors in a power, right? So errors in a final result is the power times the multiply with the errors in the individual result. So here Z is equal to A raised to 4, B raised to 1/3 divided by C into D raised to 3 by 2. So the relative error in Z, delta Z by Z is the error in A, delta A by A, but here the power of A is the 4. So error in A is multiplied by a 4 plus error in B, relative error in B is the delta B by B, but the power of B is a 1/3. So we multiply here 1/3. Error in C, delta C by C, the power of C is a 1, so need not to multiply. And error in D is delta D by D and the power is multiplied by 3 by 2. So the relative error in a final result is delta Z by Z is equal to 4 times the delta A by A plus 1/3 times the delta B by B plus delta C by C plus 3 by 2 times the delta D by D, right? Understand how we calculate? Further, if the relative error in A, B, C and D or the percentage error in A, B, C and D is given to you, if you put the value in the percentage error delta A by A, percentage error in B, percentage error in C and percentage error in D, we can easily calculate the percentage error in Z, right? Now, example number 2.12. The period of the oscillation of the simple pendulum is given by the equation capital T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. This equation is given to you. The periodic time of the simple pendulum is given by this equation. Capital T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. Measure value of L is a 20 centimeter known to the 1 mm accuracy. So here the value of L, true value of L is a 20 centimeter with the accuracy of the 1 mm. So the error in the absolute error in a L is a 1 mm. So here delta L is given to you 1 mm and L is given to you 20 centimeter. Time for the 100 oscillation of the pendulum is to be 590 seconds. So for the 100 oscillation, the time is a 90 seconds. We need to calculate the periodic time taken for the one oscillation, right? 90 divided by 100 with the wristwatch of a 1 second resolution. So the error in the periodic time delta t is a 1 second. What is the accuracy in the determination of the g? So here we need to calculate the error in the gravitational acceleration g. So here in the sentence, the true value of L is a 20 centimeter and absolute error in L delta L is a 1 mm. We need to find the periodic time of the simple pendulum. Delta capital T is equal to 90 divided by 100, right? For the 100 oscillations, the time is a 90 seconds. So for the one oscillation, time is a 90 divided by 100, right? And the error in delta T is a 1 second resolution. What will be the accuracy in the determination of G? So how we calculate the accuracy? The periodic time of the simple pendulum T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. Squaring on both sides, T square is equal to 4 pi square L divided by G. So subject the gravitational acceleration G is equal to 4 pi square L divided by T square. So by the rules of the combination of the error, the percentage error in G delta G by G multiplied by 100 is equal to percentage error in L delta L by L multiplied by 100 plus 2 times, because here T square, that means the 2 times the percentage error in delta T by T, right? Percentage error in T is a delta T by T, but here the T square, G is affected by a T square, that the error in T is a 2 times, right? We take the error is in the T is a 2 times, right? So here 4 pi square, what about the 4 pi square? 4 pi square is a constant value. There is no error in a 4 pi square. So we neglect from the calculation of the error, right? So if you place delta L is a 0.1. Here the delta L is given to you 1 mm. 1 mm is equal to 0.1 centimeter. So delta L is a 0.1. L, true value of L is a 20 centimeter. So we put L is equal to 20 centimeter multiplied by 100 plus 2 delta T. Delta T is equal to 1 divided by 90, right? For the 100 oscillation, we calculate a time and it is a 1 divided by 90 multiplied by 100, right? So if you calculate, we get the percentage error in a G is a 3%. Now example number 2.13. Each side of a cube is measured to be 7.203 meter, right? Side of the cube is measured to be a 7.203 meter. What are the total surface area and the volume of the cube to appropriate to the significant figure, right? With the consideration of the significant figure, we here to calculate the total surface area of the cube and the total volume of the cube. So dear student, here the length of the side of the cube is given to you, L is equal to 7.203. So what is the significant figure in a number 7.203? The significant digit in a number 7.203 is a 4, right? 7, 2, 0 and 3. So in the final result, we round up the value up to the 4 significant digit. So the total surface area of the cube is calculated by 6L square. So 6 multiplied by 7.203 square. If you calculate this, we get the answer 311.299254. So we round up this value up to the 4 significant digit. So if we cut down this 4, we left 5 as it is. If we cut down 5 to left as it is, rounding up this value up to the 4 significant digit, we get the total surface area A is equal to 311.3 meter square. So in the final answer, we get a 4 significant digit 3, 1, 1 and 3, right? So the correct answer is 311.3 meter square. And the volume of the cube L cube, so 7.203 cube. If you calculate this 7.203 cube, we get the answer 373.7147544. So if you round up this value up to the 4 significant figure, so how to round up value? If you don't know, right, see the previous video for the rounding of the significant number, right? So if we round up this number up to the 4 significant digit, we get the answer 373.7 meter cube. So how to calculate or how to round up the values, right? See the previous video first.